hear from later on this evening. And so welcome, and welcome to all those who are watching tonight through YouTube. We'll start off with some introductory comments by our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Vista Cleveland.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. As we enter the month of November, that's always the month that I think of in terms of being thankful for the many good things that we have in our lives. And so we've been over the last several board presentations talking a lot about the challenges, and I would like to tell you those have all gone away, but that's not necessarily the case. I thought tonight, though, we focused on some of the really good things that are happening in our district as we enter this month of Thanksgiving. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit this evening about building connections and staying positive in a COVID world. I just want you to know, despite all of the challenges we have, and we have a lot of them, there's a lot of really good things that are happening in our school district. And so we reached out to our principals and said, could you just give us one quick positive thing that's going on in your schools? And so that's what they did, and they did it very quickly, and kind of, this was kind of a last minute thought last week, but they really came back with some interesting things. And so I want to share those with you and also with members of the community you're here this evening. Relationships and connections are always important. They've always been important. That's not something that is new. But certainly right now, given all of the things that we are facing, it's even more important that we address that in a systematic way because so many of our students are still in remote learning, and that it becomes more of an imperative to do that, I think, right now than even in the past. And certainly our staff has really been putting a lot of time and effort to find ways to reach out and keep our students connected, and to provide some fun activities in their classrooms and the schools and even at the district level that will allow them to connect with others and be part of the school community. Now, one of the coming attractions is not something we talk about tonight, but for example, Kim Vesley's been working on the spelling bee. And spelling bee looks really different in a virtual world. And so they're trying to figure out how to make that work and give our students that opportunity. We've certainly heard from a lot of our parents that some of our really outstanding spellers have really had an opportunity to work a lot of extra hours as a result of being remote. And I think it's going to be a very good year for some of our Rio Rancho public schools spellers. Also, I think in this time, we have a lot of challenges. It's really easy just to become focused on ourselves and not really focused on our community and giving back to our community. And so that's the other part of this initiative is, what can we do as a school district, whether it's our staff or our students or our families, to make Rio Rancho a stronger and a better community. We are continuing, as we have for many, many years, with our United Way campaign. Last year, our employees raised $113,000 for the United Way. I will tell you that is far more than some of our very large businesses in this area. And so our folks have always stepped up and tried to be cognizant of the needs of the community and to give back. Also, one of our office has been to raise money of food for Storehouse West. And over the years, we've literally packed trucks full of food to take to Storehouse. And many years when that truck rolls up, that pantry is completely bare. And so they've come to count on that, and we have always had so much fun doing that. But this year we were trying to figure, how to do that, because we can't bring all our departments together. We can't have our big weigh-in, and we can't have our, everyone in the building together. But we had some folks that figured out a way to buy the groceries virtually, and then to compete department against department. But the purpose is, of course, not to win. Well, solely not to win by each department, but the primary focus is, of course, to feed families that are in need in Rio Rancho. But I can tell you it's cutthroat. We've had to really keep a handle on some of our departments. They just kind of edge right close to the line. And but it has been a wonderful experience for so many years. And so Beth and a couple of other folks came up with a way to make it work this year. And so we're excited to see how that's going to look. Okay, I'd like to start now, the most important thing, and that's our schools and some things that are going on in our schools. And I wanted you to be aware of a very important recognition for Shining Stars Preschool. The 5-star banner is kind of the top of the line in terms of preschools, and they have been honored with that banner. You can see a copy of that on the slide, and they are really excited about this recognition. And the state really steps up, and there's banners all through the school and the front office, every pod entrance, and but certainly Shining Stars, it does shine brightly with these 5 stars. And we thought that was just it's a wonderful recognition for the tremendous amount of hard work that goes on in that building. Cielo Azul has done a lot of things, but they have been involved in a virtual pumpkin carving contest. And so the teachers are the building connections through which many fun and creative activities are taking place in the school. But each year they do something really unique for Halloween. And it's always been fun to go out and judge costumes. And last year, Beth and I went out and did the 3 little pigs, and she was the pigs, and I was Lucy Lobo, the wolf, a nice wolf, of course. And we had a lot of fun, but this year can't do that. And so they come up with some other really good things. Colinas has just done a lot of things to reach out to their community. And I want you just to hear a quote from one of the parents, what one of our parents has said about the school. I know that my children are learning being virtual this year, and I'm so impressed with the teachers' work ethic and connection to the students. My kids' teachers have been willing to meet over Google when they need extra help or when I need clarification for an assignment. They have met with me to discuss their 504s, and we worked out strategies for them. Enchanted Hills just wrapped up a school spirit dress-up week that had both the students and the staff showing up in creative and fun costumes. And they've also been working on a thankfulness challenge based on Sean Anker's book, The Happiness Advantage. And so students are being asked to share one thing that they're thankful about their teachers. And it would become a large hallway display so everybody can see what the students are thankful for in terms of the staff and the teachers. And then staff are being asked to note 3 things every day for which they are grateful or they're thankful. And the whole purpose of that is to help improve everyone's mindset and mental health. Stapleton has been focusing on teamwork. And as they readied for the return of students to the building, all the Stapleton staff stepped up to help prepare the school. And one of the things they did was they painted and installed coyote paws all across the campus, both inside and outside. And the purpose of that, of course, was to keep the students 6 feet apart and space. And it's been a fun thing for the students to be on the coyote paws. The teamwork has helped them to navigate this new normal and to help establish new routines that work for their school. You know, for Joe Harris, it's been kind of hard. You know, it's usually for a first year, it's first everything, the community's in the school. And so this has been a first, unlike any other opening of school, a new school. So they've done a lot of things to try to help forge that identity. And of course, you see their mascot. And those of you who knew Joe know that that was his dog. And they are the Retrievers. And so in starting off their school year, they had a launch party, and they had 5 hot air balloonists who came and tried to create a socially distanced fiesta in their parking lot. And they've been raising money for the community. They've had a lot of firsts. It's really a very challenging circumstance, but Principal Hefner said that the staff really deserves a lot of recognition for their hard work, their dedication, being positive and starting up a new campus, and just persevering for setting down the initial foundation on which the future of that school will be built. But from what I hear, it's been a very smooth opening, and they've done really well. And people are beginning now to identify with the school, make the transition from the great schools that they came from. Vista has been doing a Thankful Thursday every week, and each week a staff member will receive an inspirational note from the administration with a little treat and a gratitude challenge, which will include things like paying your gratitude forward or reflecting or sharing some positive experience that's happened in the school. They will be incorporating technology. They'll be using some videos, photos, to really create a common experience for everyone at the school while still maintaining social distancing. And you'll see there's a picture of Rio Rancho Elementary where they have some of the staff that have dressed up, hopefully to bring some smiles to their children at Rio Rancho Elementary. Maggie Cordova has had this program for a long time, but it is one of the neat things that they have there. They have a lot of great things, but they pass out dragon tickets. And these dragon tickets you get when you behave well and someone recognizes it and they give you that referral. And so if you are being responsible or respectful or positive or exhibiting safe behavior, but they pass out these tickets and students can collect them, and they get some really nice things in return for that. This week, Martin Luther King is recognizing staff members with We See You cards. And these are appreciation cards that are theme-based, and they have those little googly eyes that move around, and the cards will be in the shape of leaves for November, and Christmas trees and snowflakes for December, and these eyes are glued on them, and the things "We see you," which is, of course, saying we see the great work you're doing. We see the wonderful things that you are doing for kids every day. And then 5 staff members per month will receive these cards. Sandia Vista has been super busy. They've been doing a lot of wonderful things. They just had their first Spirit Week of the year. And all of the students, regardless of whether they were hybrid or virtual, participated in these activities. And they did Superhero Day. They did Decades Day, which is you dress up per decade. And then they had the Thunder Pride Day because, of course, they are the Sandia Vista Thunder. And so the students were really excited about sharing their school spirit with each other. And, it was each student had an opportunity to do different things every day. The school will be hosting a virtual family night next week, and it encourages all their families to participate in the activities with their grade level. Of course, it will be virtual, but they have some great plans there. Vista Grande, Principal Prescott and Assistant Principal Ramos film their announcements daily for their in-person and their virtual students. And if you've ever seen them perform, it's really, it's a great thing to see. They love greeting their students. They read jokes that are sent in by their kids. They highlight good things that are going on in their building. They give things like reminders to wear your mask and to keep your distance. And then they give shout outs to their various staff members. And it's really, according to the principal, this has really connected them with all of their students and families, and hopefully, creates a semblance of normalcy as a school family as they navigate this year with all of their students. Eagle Ridge has been engaging their students and families in a variety of extracurricular activities. They have been hosting virtual student lunches so that students can have lunch together. It's just done a little bit differently. You're not sitting at the same table, but you're having conversations, and those have been very successful. And the last one they had was on Friday, October 30th, and everybody got dressed up and they shared their costumes, And they also shared the holiday traditions that are common in their family. Lincoln has been doing a lot of things, but one of the things they have been doing is recognizing their honor roll. And so they had a kind of a parade, and the families were able to drive by the front of the school, pick up their certificates, and they did some other things to celebrate their academic success in such challenging times. Mountain View has been doing a lot of things as well. They began last Friday. They began the day with a staff costume contest. And they had about 20 members of their staff who dressed up in some very creative, very different costumes. And then during lunch, they had a contest for each grade level. The students Jason just had a wonderful time with it. And there were some great costumes. They had about 200 of their students participate. And others joined the Google Meets so they get a chance to see their teachers in their costumes. And then the Mountain View Middle School Parent Pride Group has been supplying the school with gift cards for the winning costumes at every grade level. So we thank their parents for being part of that. Rio Rancho has set up breakfast clubs, kind of the same as the luncheons, to allow their students to interact with each other in a non-academic setting. They've also been providing coffee talk sessions for their teachers so they can check in with each other before school day begins and connect with their colleagues and make plans. Our high schools, Rio Rancho High School has done something kind of different. They did culturally and linguistically responsive instruction for all students. And so they focused on how can they best support student success. And so they know that when you really want to support student success, you don't just put the adults in charge of it, you put the students in charge of it. And so they got their students who took on a very active role. And there's an example from one of our Native American students. You'll have a link to that so you can see it on your own time. We weren't going to take the time now to go over that, but I hope you'll take a chance to look at that. And some of the students put together a presentation for other students in the building on cultural appropriation and Halloween costumes. So it's a little academic twist on Halloween. And then the Storm Chasers, Cleveland Video Production Club, put together just a fun film to remind all the students at Cleveland about COVID-safe practices for Halloween. And it was quite a creative effort to remind students how to be careful, how to be cautious, and still have a good time at Halloween. And so you'll have both of those to look at if you have an interest in seeing them. The Cyber Academy has been doing something very similar to some of the other schools with their fun lunches. And again, they're planning so that groups of students can come together, have lunch together, visit together. They've had some special advanced placement learning times. They've been bringing groups of students together. Independence has done a drive-through process, and they are giving out food, snack bags, supplies to grad students, and also any of the students who might need school supplies, Chromebooks, information about hotspots, and they're all working together to try to support all of the students. And I understand it's been a real success. Dr. Carly came out the other day, was sharing how well received it had been among the students and their families. And if you have any questions, but I just want to thank all our principals. I thought we'd take a break. We've been doing some pretty heavy stuff in all the board meetings the last several weeks about challenges that we're facing. And sometimes it's really easy to get just focused on that and then forget some of the really good things that are going on in schools every day. And so I thought tonight we'll just stay positive, we'll stay thankful and grateful. And I thank all of the principals who sent this in and helped us have an opportunity to share some of those things with you. So I will answer any questions if you have any, or we'll just go on. But I hope you enjoyed this look at some of the really good things that are going on.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Cleveland. I really enjoyed that a lot, being able to see all the wonderful things that are happening in our schools. Board, is there anything that you would like to say or any questions? I'll just kind of glance over. Okay. Okay. I think I speak on behalf of all of us, honestly, and just saying thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's wonderful to hear. We have just wonderful schools, so we're grateful for that. Thank you, Dr. Cleveland. Okay, for item E, we will approve the prioritized agenda and proposed time allocations. Is there any discussion that needs to take place on the prioritized agenda?
I move to approve the prioritized agenda. This is Board Member Noreen Scott.
This is Board Member Catherine Cullen, a second.
Thank you. Jane, can you take a roll call vote?
I will. Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott,
Yes.
Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
Board Member Coleman. Thank you. Thank you. You nodded yes. Madam President Galbraith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Okay, now for public comment. We received one public comment from Savannah Tafoya in regards to how many Google Meets will happen as the schools have been discussing changing the way that we've been doing Google Meets. And that's our only public comment for tonight. For those who are interested in giving public comment, please visit our website. You can click on district and then click on the board and you'll see a form where you can leave public comment. And we appreciate receiving those public comments. On to commendations. We have two commendations tonight, and I will be presenting our first commendation tonight in regards to our athletics, fine arts, and student activities. And I really feel like this goes along a lot with Dr. Cleveland and the things that she was sharing with us tonight. You know, for the last few months, well, really since March, it's been up and down, just like with everything with school, but especially for our sports and our activities, everything that's happening with our fine arts, it's been up and down and up and down. And just when we think that things are moving in one direction, they change. And over the last few months, I've had an opportunity to talk to a few of the different directors, sponsors and coaches, and hear kind of their thoughts and their struggles as they go through this. And the wonderful thing that I've heard from them is their outpouring of love to their students and their concern for their overall well-being. I haven't heard anyone of at least as far as our coaches go, say, we just need to get back because we need to be better and we need to beat everyone. Hasn't been any comment that I've heard, but just an overall concern for our students and making sure that they're looked after and that they're doing okay. I've been amazed at the ways in which they've been able to come together and meet, and that they've been able to support these students. I have seen firsthand as a parent the need for these things and how these students, just for where they're at right now with COVID, that they need some of these sort of activities in their lives to help them to see their friends a little bit in a safe, responsible way, and to be around others. We've gone from groups of 10 to groups of 5 to, and back and forth and all of those other things. And I have just seen positive attitudes from these individuals who run these different groups and activities. They've been calm and collected with our students. And so I just want to say once again that we truly, truly appreciate you. And we know that many of you have a couple of hats as you teach classes throughout the day. And then you do these extra things for our students. And just like the thank you that they're sending out in that elementary school, we see you and we're grateful for your efforts. So thank you so much for all that you do. Board, is there anything you wanted to add to that? I'll just give you guys go ahead.
No, that was very nice. This is Board Member Noreen Scott. That was very nice. I'm glad that we're recognizing the efforts of our coaches and our athletic folks and the extracurricular activities, because that's so critical right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Scott. Anyone else want to add anything? Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. We will now move over to our second commendation, and Carl Leppelman's here to present this commendation to our to the Friends of Libraries and Literacy. Go ahead, Carl.
Thank you, President Galbraith, members of the board, Superintendent Cleveland. This is a month to be thankful. We're just into the month, but last week, the Friends of the Library and Literacy did present to the Rio Rancho Public Schools a check for $3,500. And this speaks volumes about our community and connections. And Dr. Dreyer, Joe Dreyer is here this evening, along with Angie Adams. And speaking of connections, Angie was a longtime librarian, lead librarian in our district. It made a significant difference in our schools and access to libraries and quality library media. I'll say one thing before I turn over to Dr. Dreyer. We all know there's learning loss in the spring. We have students who didn't read, and then of course, then came summer. And so then came what? Reentry. And so with our students in virtual mode, these ebooks are amazing resources for our students, because they basically will provide about 257 ebooks, which are accessible at all levels of fiction and nonfiction. And the importance of reading can't be overstated, as you know, that the more you read, the vocabulary grows. And our students who don't have access right now, and our teachers and parents who actually can work with our students will have this access because of this generous donation. So I'd like to turn over to Dr. Dreyer, if that's possible at this time.
Thank you. I'm Joe Dreyer. I'm the president of Friends of the Library and Literacy, Rio Rancho, Inc. We're a all-volunteer, nonprofit 501c3 public charity. The Friends incorporated in 1983 as Friends of the Library of Rio Rancho. Our initial mission was to raise money to bring a public library to Rio Rancho. The successful result was the Esther Bone Public Library. In 2019, the Friends contributed 13,974 volunteer hours and $32,048 to public libraries. In 2020, we expanded our mission to support libraries and literacy in Rio Rancho and surrounding areas. The $3,500 grant to the public schools for ebooks is one step toward our expanded mission. The grant was funded by a generous $1,500 donation from Enterprise Holding Foundation, a matching $1,500 from the Friends, and an anonymous donation of $500. The Friends' income comes from the sale of community-donated books, CDs, DVDs, magazines, and jigsaw puzzles that we sell in our Friend Shop bookstore, and until recently, at a monthly book sale. Before COVID-19, we received about 2,000 books each month. We look forward to working with the public schools on more literacy programs and projects in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dreyer. So I don't know if Dr. Dreyer, did Angie Adams like to say something, or?
I would just say that we really look forward to further collaboration and building relationships and connections with the Rio Rancho Public Schools. It's been a special place in my heart, and we will continue to work towards supporting literacy in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. President Galbraith?
Thank you. And before you guys go, we just all want to say thank you for that. Angela, if you want to be able to click on your camera, you can find it at the bottom, the little camera icon if you want to. You don't feel like you have to click it on. But There you are. And we just really want to say thank you again. I loved seeing Dr. Dreyer behind him, all those wonderful books behind him, and behind you. I can see there's many wonderful books, and it's so important to our community and to our schools to have these things, and we're truly grateful for that. I'm going to allow the board to talk to you for just a second, and Dr. Cleveland, we'll start with Dr. Cleveland, and then I'll go through our board really fast. Go ahead, Dr. Cleveland. Dr. Cleveland, you are still muted. It's our favorite words.
And every time I do that, they charge me $1. So and Renee is the keeper of the tally. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. You know, we know the power of reading, whether it's academic reading or recreational reading, and the importance of giving young people an opportunity. It just opens the world to them. Yes. And so we appreciate all of your work. It's Angie, it's wonderful to see you. Over many years, she was a leader in helping us get our libraries started, and took a leadership role not only in one building but across the district, helped us open new libraries. And so she left a very rich legacy here of strong public school libraries. And so I want to thank her. Dr. Dreyer, thank you for your effort. In this day and time, every penny really matters for books. Books are very expensive. The resources are very limited, but thank you and your group for being willing to support our students in this way. And it certainly will be put to good use. So thank you both for being here this evening.
It's our pleasure. And the Friends are people who love books and love reading, and anything we can do to improve literacy in this community, we will work to do so.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me see if anyone else from the board would like to. Noreen Scott, would you like to say something?
Yes, I would just like to say that the Friends have been such a wonderful and integral part of our community since we became a city almost. So I'm very grateful for your efforts, and I'm so thankful that you have continued to support literacy and the use of books in the community. We're so much richer because of everybody's volunteer efforts.
Okay.
Thanks, Secretary Scott. Catherine Collin, would you like to?
Yeah, I think everybody's pretty much said it, and definitely Noreen. Yeah, I mean, they're just great organization that really gives back to our community, and absolutely, I know at the librarian Adams, you were over at Vista Grande, correct?
That's
yes,
right.
Yeah, my girls went there. So I really thank you all so much. My girls love to read, and I know so many children can really use this and be able to utilize this. And you know, we need to get them back to reading. You know, to sit down and even this is for ebooks, correct?
Yes.
Yes, but even getting to them with the old books too, where they could open them up and smell them. So the ebooks is great because now they're using the technology, the Chromebooks, and be able to get them there and have them sit there and read. So I really appreciate it, and thank you all so much for everything that you guys do for the community.
We would very much like to work with the public schools to get real dead tree books into kids' hands, as well as the ebooks.
Yes.
Thank you. And Jeffrey Morgan.
I just want to say thanks. Very exciting program. And I just want to echo what the other board members are saying. Very, very good stuff. Thank you so much.
And then Wynn Coleman.
Yes, thank you so much. And I can't think of a better time to really take advantage of reading when we're all feeling so cooped up. And what a great opportunity it is to just experience things and kind of escape. So thank you so much for this.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. It's just a night of good things. It's very nice to have. Okay, now moving on to our business portion of our meeting. We'll start with considering approval for the October 26, 2020 unapproved board minutes. Are there any changes that need to take place on those minutes as they've been reviewed?
No. This is Board Member Jeff Morgan. I make a motion to approve the October 26, 2020 unapproved minutes.
This is Board Member Coleman. I second.
Thank you. Jane, can you take a roll call vote for us?
Yes, I will. Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
Board Member Coleman,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Carries 5-0. Item B, we'll consider the approval of the RRPS 2021 priorities, and we have Chris Balzano here to present.
Good evening, Madam President Galbraith, members of the board, and Dr. Cleveland. It is another good thing happening tonight, and that is our 2021 legislative priorities. You have that before you. All the items that we discussed on the last board meeting are there. We did add making sure that the district funding stay harmless and in relation to the enrollment of our students, ensuring the transportation as well. Anything that is related to transportation, those items are there as well. Textbook, instructional materials, any unfunded mandates that are detrimental to the school district and our funding. Also, making sure that we receive necessary funding to offset any expenses to COVID-19 initiatives that we took, including the cost of PPE, the cash balances protection. At-risk student was another item that was brought up there. We have also the behavioral and mental health, which is extremely important to protect that and have that there. And updating the diabetes management bill or the Diabetes Management Act, which is called now in statute. With that, I leave for any questions or statements that you may have on this legislative priority for the upcoming session.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate it. And we'll just go through the board. Why don't we start with Wynn Coleman at the top of my screen? So go ahead, Wynn.
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Catherine Cullen.
No, thank you so much, Chris, for capturing all that for us.
Noreen Scott.
Chris, thank you. I don't have anything to add. You did a great job. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Jeffrey Morgan.
Chris, thanks for the good work. I don't have anything.
Okay. And I don't have anything either, Chris. Do you feel like I know we were trying to kind of keep it small and then we just kept giving you stuff last week. Do you feel like we're in a pretty good spot with these? It's going to go over okay?
Do you know, I think so. I think this is very simple. It's comprehensive. It makes sense. There is no rocket science here. We are addressing things that are important for the school district, that has been important for the last few years as we build, our relationship with the legislature, our presence there. But also we are adding things that are those things that just came up this year, right, with COVID-19 and the consequences that are direct or indirect related to that. So I think this is really simple, and I really believe that a lot of the school districts will approach it the same way. So it's going to be easy for the body of the legislature to know, hey, this is a one voice here. I think after recommendations, as after this is approved, that we talk about setting up a legislative forum with our state legislatures or delegation after the elections, so we know who we are working with, and then invite them, and then the board will present those priorities, so that way they're aware what we're going to be advocating and lobbying at the legislature.
Okay, thank you. And then Dr. Cleveland, do you recommend approval, and then also any other remarks you would like to give?
I do recommend approval. I would just share, this morning we had superintendent's meeting, and one of the interesting bits of feedback we were getting was a lot of discussion to reduce transportation funding based on the number of riders for this year. And I just want to reemphasize again that there was no reduction in costs. Whether the bus carries 10 or 50 kids, the salary's the same, the fuel's the same, the tires are the same, everything costs the same. And so my other quick comment is that almost all of this does relate to Yazzie Martinez, either directly or indirectly. And so it will be interesting to see. But, we were really taken aback by that, because we thought, well, don't be. It's going to be, that's going to be very challenging. But thank you for your hard work on this. And we stand ready to help and support in any way that we can. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Cleveland. So with that, I move to approve the RRPS 2021 priorities.
I'll second that. This is Board Member Noreen Scott.
Thank you. Jane, can you take a roll call vote on this?
Yes, I will. Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott,
Yes.
Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
Board Member Coleman,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. So thank you, Chris. So I'm sure we'll be in contact with you, and Dr. Cleveland will be in contact with you to start setting up some of those things that we were discussing with trying to get that. It's such an interesting time trying to navigate all of these things and trying to meet up with people. Totally different than how it looked last year, and that was just my first time last year. Now it's totally different on how we go through it. So we appreciate, though, all the work that you've done.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Thank you, board members and Dr. Cleveland. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so item C is to consider the approval of the RFP number 2021-002, Architect Design Services for HVAC, and Michael Madrid, our Director of Purchasing, is here to present.
Good evening, Madam President Galbraith, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Cleveland. I am Michael Madrid, the Director of Purchasing. I'm here to present an award request for RFP 2021-002 FAC for architectural design services for various HVAC projects. On October the 22nd at 2 p.m., proposals were due. The district received 11 responses to this solicitation. Proposals were received from Kennedy Architect Studio, G. Donald Dudley Architect Ltd, Greer Stafford SJCF Architecture Inc., Jorge Gonzalez Architecture Studio, McLean and U Architects, NCA Architect Planners AIA, SMPC Architects, Studio Southwest Architects, the Hartman plus Majewski Design Group, V Hill and Associates Architectural Group PC, and Wilson and Company. After proposals were received, we went through all the responses to ensure that they met the mandatory requirements. All 11 were deemed to be responsive submittals. On October the 29th, proposals were reviewed based on the criteria identified in the RFP, and we ranked the proposals 1 through 11. Recommendation for this afternoon is to award the proposals based on ranked order and based on the maximum allowable construction cost, which is the MAC. So the highest ranked offer is a company called Wilson and Company. We're recommending awarding Eagle Ridge Middle School and Mountain View Middle School with a MAC of $6,960,000. Second highest ranked offer is Greer Stafford SJCF Architecture for Puesta del Sol Elementary School. The MAC for that project is $5,955,000. The third highest ranked offer is V Hill and Associates Architectural Group PC. We're recommending Martin Luther King with a MAC of $3,550,000. The fourth highest ranked offer is McLean plus U Architects. We're recommending awarding Colinas del Norte Elementary School with a MAC of $2,300,000. And the fifth highest ranked is Studio Southwest Architects. We're recommending awarding Rio Rancho Elementary School with a MAC of $1,550,000. Upon review of the proposals, all the offers had significant experience with K through 12. A lot of them have done work with our district. They've had extensive work with Albuquerque Public Schools, Los Lunas, down south in Las Cruces. A lot of them have done work in Farmington and the Santa Fe area. So we feel like we have a pretty well-rounded group of design professionals, and our recommendation is for multiple award based on the ranked order and the maximum allowable construction cost. I stand for questions.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll just go, well, let me just first start with Dr. Cleveland. Is there anything you wanted to add, Dr. Cleveland?
No, I think Michael Madrid covered it very well.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. We'll start with Jeffrey Morgan. Do you have any questions on this?
No questions. Thank you for your work, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate the kind words, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and then Noreen Scott. Okay, and Catherine Cullen.
Yes, this is Catherine Cullen. So in reference to this coming out of the 2019 bond?
Board Member Cullen, that is correct.
Okay, and then so how many more schools besides these schools that are set to come out for HVAC?
Good evening. This is Melanie Archbeck.
Hi,
There's
Melanie.
one more. Hi, there's one more school.
Okay, so we in that bond of, so I know it's kind of coming out of the, because these came in a bit lower. So we had on that bond $43.5 million.
Can I clarify? So this is the MAC. So this is hard cost. This is not a project cost. The project cost will have hard costs and soft costs.
Okay, that's where I wanted to know where we were, because I was like, this is significantly less. Okay, all right. So we're just doing on this, and then and you'll be coming back with the soft costs then, Melanie?
The soft costs to the board, no. So I have a project budget for each project already set.
Okay.
Hard cost is here. This is what will determine the architectural costs or the fee for them, but we'll have testing costs, we'll have commissioning costs, we'll have other contingencies, everything that is considered soft costs that makes up the rest of the project budget.
Okay, so we're within the bond amount. I mean, we'll be pretty much
Yes.
within budget then?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. And then Wynn Coleman.
No, thank you. I appreciated the thorough information and my questions were answered.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your questions, and thanks for the presentation. Any further questions? Just looking around. Okay. I will move to approve the R. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
I make a motion to approve the RFP number 2021-002 Architect Design Services for HVAC projects.
And this is Board Member Coleman. I second.
Thank you. Jane, can you take a roll call vote for us?
Yes, I will. Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott,
Yes.
Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
Board Member Coleman,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Appreciate it. Thank you, Michael, for presenting that for us tonight and all your hard work putting that together.
Appreciate it, Board President. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we will, for advanced planning, is there anything that I'm missing? I feel like my thing's a little, okay. For our advanced planning on November 3rd, that's Election Day, tomorrow. November 11th, Veterans Day. November 16th, there's a regular board meeting at 5:30 p.m. That will be remote. November 18th, the Superintendents Advisory Council will be at 3:30 p.m. And December 14th, we have a Finance Committee meeting at 4:30 p.m. And also on December 14th, we will have a regular board meeting at 5:30 p.m. And with that, our meeting's adjourned for tonight. Thank you all so much for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.